right, let's talk about worldwide cannabis today, because as we are beginning to see this global market develop, it's really fascinating to almost come across the same things over and over again. And by things, I mean like how the laws change, how we become to get more educated. And in America, America's like so far ahead right now. And America is one of the only places where we had like a West Coast, right, for like growing cannabis that was just sort of like ignored, but supplied the whole nation with cannabis for like the past 50 years. And so when we sometimes think about how like flooded the market is, it's like, well, when I go back to Ireland now, we're still so early. And really, when I compare a lot of this, it's like people are often saying, oh, they only want Delta-9 THC, but that's like saying that they only want vodka. And we are in this new world where we can actually start with like all of these new product lines that have never even been discovered. It's such an exciting time. So it's like people aren't realizing yet that, like, you know, there's not just like poaching, right? There's not just like, you know, your bootleg liquor that your friend made, right? It's like there's so many different varieties, and we're just learning about them all now. And so at this point in time, it's like we are recognizing, like, oh, there's whiskey, there's beer, there's wine. And we have all these people that are like, oh no, we only want vodka. We only want vodka. But they haven't even opened their horizons yet to the fact that there's like all of these other cannabinoids. And I think it's really fascinating just looking at how these laws play out in different states, or I'm used to the United States here, but different countries. And like, this plant is not going back in the box. Like the cannabis is here to stay. And those of us who are not afraid to help get this plant pushed forward, I think are gonna help greatly help this industry to grow. Because there's still so many people out there that are afraid. There's still so many people that are afraid of being caught by the police, afraid for their job, afraid their family's gonna find out. And it's all nonsense. You know, it's really frustrating that people have to be concerned about these things and feel, you know, shame and guilt over a plant that's never killed anybody ever. You got to ask yourself questions of like, why is this illegal? Right? The only common denominator is that this plant was used to basically thwart people and arrest them during an uprising, essentially, back in the day. That's it, in the Ronald Reagan days, and they just made up this nonsense that basically said that like reefer madness, and yeah, it's almost crazy to think that like there's people still in jail, right? There's people in jail for this plant. It's crazy. And I'm telling you, when it comes to Ireland, like, I'm not waiting around. We're bringing the best products possible to Ireland. We are not afraid. We are here to help others to get access to this plant, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do so legally. And while it may be confusing, or you know, some of the politicians don't understand how it all works, like, cannabis is legal, Delta-9 is legal as long as it's less than 0.3, and we all have a right to have access to these products. And so, yeah, I think it's been pretty just crazy to see how far along we've come in this industry, but at the same time, like, how taxing it has been. It's like, it's difficult enough being a small business, let alone being a small business in the cannabis field. I mean, I was even looking for a place in Ireland. They wouldn't even rent to me because I'm a hemp company. Like, come on, like, wake up, people. And so, like, these sort of biases are still occurring in this day and age, as crazy as it sounds. And you are actually a part of it, watching these videos. You're a part of the people that's making the change and is becoming more educated, that's saying no more to this nonsense, right? Like, if you can't be anti-cannabis if you drink booze, right? Like the amount of people that die from alcohol every year. I mean, like why would you be against a plant that's never killed anybody? Right? Like, it doesn't make sense unless again your religion told you, right? All these things, but when you actually, take the time, you look at the facts, look at the data, there's no reason for this plant to ever be illegal at all. And the only way I can see it is to sort of control the population. And this is a plant that really gives us a lot of freedom. And so in each and every country, we go through these phases of it starts off as it's illegal, then it's medical, then it's like skip medical, go straight to hemp. Hemp is legal. We can get people, high legally. We can get people, to heal legally. And it just sort of skips a lot of the regulation. And so as long as you can find good companies that actually aren't going to just rip you off, you can get pretty good access to these hemp-derived cannabinoids, and it will make you feel good, or a family member, and it gives you the freedom and choice to make that decision for yourself, and you can get it sent to your house. It's pretty cool. But it's been, God, it feels like it's been so long. And I'm young, I'm 34. It's people, there's parents and been fighting this battle for, 2 or 3 generations. And I know for me, sometimes, God, it's tough. It's really tough trying to keep going, and it often feels so like the light is never coming at the end of the tunnel. But we can't let those seeds of doubt come in. We gotta keep the belief. We gotta keep knowing that we will at some point in time, whether it's our kids or our kids' that they'll be able to walk around and go and have a smoke or whatever, have an edible, just in the same way that people go for a pint, and it won't be looked at in any weird way, and it's totally fine. And right now, we are building those building blocks right now through education, through product access, and it's quite a time to be alive. But just know, if you're in a place where cannabis is illegal, it's probably going to get legal eventually. And if you're in a place, hemp is most likely legal where you're at, right? Like it has to be. It's like hemp is legal almost everywhere. And so unless you're like Italy that just decided to like label it as a narcotic, I mean, it's just like, what? It's just crazy. It's really crazy sometimes. But look, I could go on and on and on and on about this. And so I just want to say that, like, to each and every one of you that watches these videos, we really appreciate you. We really are doing our best to improve and keep getting better and better. And to all 1,320 of you, just know that we've got our own little hustle going over here, right? We got our own little parliament members, and 1,300 people is quite significant. As it's a start. And so I just again want to say that, like, the road is paved with just so many fallen warriors. I feel so many people that have given up. We're not going to give up. You shouldn't give up either. And just know that, like, you have the power to get educated on cannabis. You have the power to get access to these cannabinoids to help yourself to heal, and you absolutely have the power to help others. Share your stories, do what you can. We're doing our little bit over here. I know you're doing the same at home. I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. Good luck.